Okay, so make sure you've already watched the Gig Salad way to quote somebody. This is just the difference with Gigmasters. So in addition to just writing a message directly in this little dashboard here, down here you'll see there's a quote. Now there's a few more details you need to enter. This is one difference. They make you, it's required that you enter a dollar amount. So whatever dollar amount you're quoting for the party, you want to put it in here. Always try to put the smallest dollar amount possible. And I always recommend, let's say for this event, if they say it's, this was like a balloon, fewer than 25 people, 1 hour. 1 hour is our minimum time frame. But let's say if they ask for like 2 or 3 hours of balloon animals, we still want to quote for just 1 hour and make that the main rate that appears, because that might grab their attention because they're going to be price shopping first. So if we can just do the main 1 hour rate, which is the 175, and put that up front first. Now if there's travel involved, if the performer's traveling more than an hour, you can't find anybody who's local or who wants to work for that 175 rate, then you may need to quote a little bit of a higher rate, usually around like 200, or try and quote them for an hour and a half or 2 hours of service, which is always better. So if we can't quote for the hour because of travel, we quote a higher rate. But if it's local, you want to quote just the base rate, 175 for 1 hour. So even if this happened to be a 3-hour event. And then you would just add down here in the message, by the way, the quote's for 1 hour. If you want to extend that and do, extra hours, you would quote them for each subsequent hour down below here. You want to grab their attention with the lowest rate possible. Okay, and then you need to pick a deposit. It's important to do this request deposit thing, and when the way it looks when it's not there, you have to just click it. It'll open up with all this information. You enter the amount of the deposit. And for sending somebody else out, you can find those rates under like what we pay the client or what we pay the entertainer. Entertainer gets paid document. And obviously whatever's left over between what the client gets charged, and you'll see the client pays document, and what the entertainer gets for that same event, that's what we charge for the deposit. So we get the agency money, and the remainder goes day of to the performer. And deposit to always do at the time of booking. That's always standard. I make it refundable if it's within 2 weeks. If the event's less than 2 weeks away, this event happened to be coming up very soon, like came up in 3 days after this request came in. So I made it non-refundable, but normally it's refundable if it's more than 2 weeks or more away. We'll refund them the money, because then we still have a chance to book with someone else. And okay, so we got all that information in there. Then you'd make sure I approved the quote. You make sure you showed me the quote to approve it. You clicked it, and the phone number and the email only appear after you've clicked it, after you've sent the quote out to the person. So you won't see this information right away, the direct email and the phone number. You have to actually go down here and hit send at the bottom. Right down there, resend, or it'll say send quote when you first send the quote. So you want to make sure you do that to get this information here. There's even a funny little tab here for conversations. If the person happens to drop a message, it'll just appear there. And we've messaged some follow-ups to the client. Let's go back. That's a good little thing to look out for in case the client happens to message us. We'll get an email reminder, but also we'll see it right there in that little link. So what you want to do, you want to go and copy that direct email address. Copy that and plug it into your email service, which is going to be that office@AmazingMomentsAgency email. Right now, I'm not going to get into that. That's in other videos you'll see where it shows you how to go into the email. And the phone number, you want to just call the client. Call them as soon as possible. As soon as you send this quote out, and after you also direct email them, the next step, I guess the third thing to do, would be to call the person. And this is just a call to see, hey, we got your request. Let them know where you're coming from. Oh, we got the request in Gigmasters. You were looking for the balloon twister for the 6th of January. We got somebody who's really great with kids. Wanted to talk to you a little bit, just real briefly. Let them know it's going to be a short call. You're only going to talk to them maybe for like 10 minutes. Ask them if you got them at a good time. That's super important, because obviously you might have just caught them in the middle of driving. People pick up the phone at all kinds of weird times in the bathroom. Who knows? So, whatever they say, depending on what they say, you say, oh yeah, you can check for it in Gigmasters. I sent you a direct email right to your inbox. And you also want to try and get a follow-up call. This is the main thing on the phone. Get that set up for an appointment to talk to me for about 10 or 15 minutes about their event. Say Michael likes to talk to you. He's got 18 years, performing experience, booking entertainers of all different types. He wants to make sure we get the best fit for the person we're sending you and the type of event you have, and any requests you might have, like for a theme or anything else, any other concerns you might have for what's really important to you. So we just ask you a few questions to get down to that. So what's a good day and time? Michael can call you back for that. So you want to set up that appointment. And that's the main thing. And once you do, like I said again, if you were going to write a message to follow up, it'd be under this conversation tab here. You'd be writing your message in here to the client. And we've already sent a bunch of messages, but you can write it down here. So yeah, make sure you don't just send the quote in Gigmasters. You also have to directly email them and call them. That's the difference with Gigmasters.